What is up, YouTube? Pharos here, and welcome to my first Diablo 4 video. Guys, if you've never seen my content before, welcome to the channel. Traditionally, I make content for MMORPGs and fighting games, and it's mostly been live streamed on Twitch. That's my bread and butter. But this is my entry into the ARPG genre, man, with content creating. It's been a genre that my friends have been telling me I should get into for years. I love grindy games, and I love games that you can play around, and a game I can play with my wife, play with friends, help people farm, help people gear out. I love the grind, and Diablo 4 is even gonna have some PvP for me, so we'll mess around with that as well. Finally getting into the ARPG series. I'm gonna be going hard on Twitch. I'm gonna be going hard here on YouTube. I tried the server slam for this game, fell in love with the game, and then this really sealed the deal. I figured, what better way to get into Diablo 4 than trying to be one of the first 1,000 players to get hardcore level 100 without dying and get my name carved into a statue at Blizzard HQ, man. Like, not only did I fall in love with the game, but Blizzard announcing this contest made me feel like I gotta try to break into the genre by getting my name on that statue. So take this video as an announcement. I will be competing. I will be playing hardcore on launch, which is tomorrow. And I'll be streaming it nonstop, and I'll be trying to get into the first 1,000 players to complete this death-defying feat. So without further ado, I wanted to announce that, but I also wanted to take this video to tell you about the build I'm gonna be playing in Diablo 4. So let's jump right into it. My first character is gonna be a ranged rogue. So those of you who are in the know that rogue can be played as like an up-close personal job with daggers and swords, or you can play it far away with ranged skills, or you could even do a mixture of both, to be honest, which I kind of do actually, but I'm calling it a ranged rogue because the primary time is going to be spent away and dealing damage from ranged. So let's do a quick overview of the skills I'm slotting here, and then I'll go into the skill tree with you and walk you through what I might change, what I'm going to be looking to like flex in and out, and some other honorable mentions that I think are just worth mentioning, so you know when you're thinking about maybe making your builds and the adjustments you're thinking about making. If this video, I hope that this video helps some people out. So let's get into it. I did play this in the server slam and it worked beautifully, these exact skills. So the skills I have here, the left click basic attack I have as Heart Seeker. This is definitely preference. Forceful Arrow I'm really thinking about going to, but I'm gonna start as Heart Seeker because it's really nice to never miss those combo points and how you can, the unique things that you can do with this arrow, because what it does is it homes in on the enemy. And I was actually drawing a little graphic here. What you can actually do is, if there's like a wall here and you got a bunch of enemies here by these X's, you can actually stand behind the wall and you can fire heart-seeking arrows like into the doorway, and they'll curve back and they'll hit things that like do not have line of sight of you. Like, they can't shoot you through this wall, but you can shoot them. So that's why I really liked this skill. It allows for some creativity and kiting and just kind of like tapping away at things where you can hit them and they can't hit you. And that made me a big fan of Heart Seekers. So that's what I'm gonna start as. Penetrating Shot is the bread and butter of this skill. Pretty much all your damage is coming from Penetrating Shot. Range skill fires an arrow, pierces through all enemies in a line, dealing tons of damage, and it will apply and detonate the next skill, Shadow Imbuement, on a whole pack of enemies. So what this does is Shadow Imbuement makes it to where your next two imbuable skills, which you can see right there, Penetrating Shot is, it will deal shadow damage and infect enemies for 6 seconds. Infected enemies explode upon death, dealing 56% damage to all surrounding enemies. If the infection expires before the enemy dies, it will deal damage to only that enemy. But what this means is you can shadow imbue yourself, and then you can pen shot, and it'll put shadow on all the things you hit. And maybe you hit 10 enemies. Then you pen shot again, get some energy back, pen shot again, that thing dies, detonates the shadow imbuement, which kills another one. So that one detonates, which kills another one, so they all detonate, and you get this giant chain reaction of everything exploding. So it's a really fun build. You can just mow through waves of enemies because of the synergy between pen shot and shadow imbuement. And then I've got some mobility and some utility in my build. So since I'm playing hardcore, I wanted to be able to move out of bad situations. I wanted to be able to break CC. So I wanted multiple mobility and multiple unstoppable skills that apply unstoppable to me. And it says right here on this wiki page, while unstoppable, control impairing effects are removed and prevented. So that's really the rationale for me taking Shadow Step. It says become unstoppable and quickly move through the shadows to stab your victim from behind. Gain 50% move speed as well. So this skill, it does damage too. It does good damage. So, and it's 9-second cooldown base, but we're actually gonna get it way lower than that. So what this skill's really gonna do for me, it's gonna kill weak things and help me go fast when I'm at low level. But what it's really gonna do is if I get stunned or rooted, or if I get walled in, I think I'm gonna be able to shadow step outside of the walls or through the walls, because it's kind of a teleport. I'm not sure about that, but I think that's how that's gonna work. And definitely if I get stunned or something, I'll be able to teleport to a different monster by shadow stepping, break the stun, since Unstoppable does that, and then keep fighting. So I like having shadow step in the build. Like I say, I like having a redundant amount of Unstoppable and movement in my build, so I can just keep popping pen shots, stay alive, build combo points. We're going combo point, by the way, so building combo points with Heartseeker, spending them on big pen shots, shadow imbuing, you know, taking down waves, and then just staying alive and moving around and staying outside of CC with things like Shadow Step and my other two skills. So the next skill I have listed here is Dash. So Dash has 2 charges, dash forward / enemies, deal a bunch of damage, well, not a ton of damage, but deal damage to everything you slash. Also, key point about Dash, so it's not unstoppable, but it is imbuable. So let's say I run out of energy. So like Pen Shot is the big energy spender in this build, right? So rogues use energy as a resource, and you're gonna be spending all your energy with Pen Shot. Let's say your shadow imbuement comes up and you're fighting like little trashy enemies, but your energy's down because you got pen shot. You can actually shadow imbue your dash, and you can dash through a pack and then dash back to your starting position. Apply shadow imbuement to all of them. Then you maybe got energy for a pen shot. Kill them, start detonating it, and you can use this as a way to get some damage as you move around. You can use it just as a repositioning tool, and then we'll talk about the talents and modifiers we get on that after, but we're going to use it to slow enemies and even daze them too, so that's really nice. And then the last skill I have here is Concealment. So what this does is it vanishes you. You get advanced form of stealth for 4 seconds. That means that you drop aggro of everything you're fighting, but also even if you get hit by a little projectile or something as you're running around, it will not break your stealth. And this makes you unstoppable as well and gives you a sprint. And then because of a modifier we're getting on it, it gives you energy as well. So, and it's gonna apply Vuln when you use a skill that breaks Conceal. So this allows for you could do so much with this skill. But all in all, what this skill boils down to, and we'll talk more about them in just a minute, what it boils down to is getting tons of damage with Pen Shot, great AoE with Shadow Imbuement, and even, you know, the damage you do on single target is not bad with this build either. You know, you can make some tweaks that we'll talk about that could make it even better. Single target, but the AoE damage is great, and then tons of mobility, being able to get out of CCs with Unstoppable, and just get your energy back and get back to pen shotting. So that's what the build revolves around, really. I got some aspects here that I put on that I got from from some other builds. I haven't done a ton of researching on aspects yet. This seems to be some of the big ones, like this trick shot aspect, man. This is the first one I'm gonna go through. Whenever penetrating shot damages an enemy, 2 additional arrows split off to either side, and these deal a % of penetrating shots base damage. So I mean, that seems like a great amount of extra damage. You know, killing a vuln enemy, excuse me, gives you energy regen. Damaging an elite with a basic skill gives you more energy. You know, that stuff's nice. Attacking enemies with a basic skill increases the damage of your next core skill. And that's another reason I like Heartseeker, man, is because Heartseeker, you can't miss. You can't miss. So you're always going to be getting these benefits from your basic attacks. And then we got a defensive one here on the helmet. But I think, you know, I'm just going to keep an eye out for these as I play. Like I said, I kind of just pulled these from another build, and then I really made my own build after that. I just didn't know what else to really put here, and it seems like this stuff's really going to fit the build, so I figured I'd plug it in here for y'all in case that helps any of you look out for what aspects to really look out for as well. All right, so on to the skill tree, and I'm gonna go through this kind of quick because I don't want it to be too much longer of a video, but I just want to show you guys where my head's at and how I'm gonna be going through this. So Heartseeker, and also some alternatives to what I chose. So Heartseeker, when you get these 3 talents, what it does is it's gonna make it to where this skill gives you increased critical strike chance and increased critical strike damage against the things that you shoot. And it's going to give you some attack speed when it crits. So that's pretty nice. I mean, like I said, you can't miss with this skill, and you know, this is just a nice damaging left click. Now I'm thinking about swapping it for Forceful Arrow, because what does the third Forceful Arrow do? Every third cast of Forceful Arrow applies Vuln. It's only for 2 seconds, but dude, especially with a combo point build, doing 3 Forceful Arrows, which builds up 3 combo points, and then doing a big pen shot into a Vulned target is really appetizing. So I'm keeping my eye on Forceful Arrow. I like the uniqueness and what you can do with Heartseeker, and I don't sleep on that. I think it's really strong, but yeah, I you know, I might be swapping it in between off and on with Forceful Arrow as well. So I get these 3 points, and then we're gonna move down to here, and I'm just gonna get pen shot. Now, we already talked about this. Things to know: rapid fire is really good single target range damage, I hear. And while we're on subject, we got the Shadow Imbue, but I hear that Poison Imbue plus rapid fire melts bosses. So if it's ever the kind of thing where you know a boss is coming up and you want to build towards that, maybe you just respec into rapid fire and poison, and that's going to put you for like a more single target version of the same build. But for my build, which is what I'll be using 90% of the time, I feel like, we're gonna have 5 points into pen shot, 1 point into the enhanced one, X 10% increased damage per enemy it pierces, which you're gonna be lining up those pierces all the time, and then I have improved pen shot. If it damages at least 3 enemies, your next pen shot has a 20% critical strike chance. So that's huge, which you're hitting 3 enemies all the time. So then we're gonna move down here, and like I said, I wanted a lot of mobility in this build, so I got the Shadow Step and the Dash, but I didn't put a lot of points into them. I just went 1 point in each. I'm not really doing them primarily for damage. You know, like I said, I might kill some stuff with Shadow Step now and again, but it's not like I'm dumping a lot of points into it because I really want to focus on the range skills for damage. So we just got the Shadow Step. The enhanced increases your critical strike chance against the target for 3 seconds, and then the disciplined Shadow Step is pretty sweet. Check this out. Shadow Step's cooldown is reduced by 3 seconds when it damages an enemy you have not hit with a Shadow Step in the last 4 seconds. Okay, that's pretty much every single Shadow Step. If you're not using this as a damage skill, then you're not using it over and over on the same target. So the base cooldown of this is, I think the base is 9. Yeah, so when we get this, you're looking at a 6-second cooldown, unstoppable teleport. I mean, for hardcore, dude, I think That is really strong for being able to get around and break CCs every 6 seconds. And then for dash, we just go 1, 1, 1 in these points as well. The base dash, the enhanced enemies by damage by dash take 20% increased critical strike damage. So that's nice for lining up some big pen shots. You know, you can dash through a pack, dash back, and then start pen shotting them, and the crits will go nuts. And then the discipline dash, your first dash will slow enemies by 30%. And then if you hit them with a second dash and they're already slowed, it'll daze them for 2 seconds instead of slowing them, which makes it to where they can't attack. So that's really nice, and I think that's gonna be save you from taking some damage in hardcore. I also pick up weapon mastery right here, 3 out of 3 points into this. So with bows, it makes you do 12% increased damage to vulnerable enemies, and with crossbows, it gives you 15% increased critical strike damage. So really nice damage talents right here in the weapon mastery. Gonna pick those up pretty quick probably as I level. And then down here we get conceal. Just put 1 point into that. 1 point into the enhanced concealment gives you 40 energy when you use conceal. So not only is it a vanish, not only is it unstoppable, not only is it a sprint, not only is it 4-second stealth, but you're also gonna get 40 energy back. And that means that that's gonna allow you to do some crazy burst. Like if you've got 120 energy, or 110 I think I had on Server Slam, and pen shot cost 35. So 35, 35, 35 is 115, right? So you could do 3 pen shots in a typical energy bar, but then you can conceal and do another one. And by the way, as you're doing those pen shots, you're gonna get a little bit of energy regenerated, which really means with this conceal 40 energy enhanced concealment, you can do like 5 pen shots in a row. And by the way, subverting concealment, skill that breaks conceal, always makes the enemy vulnerable for 6 seconds. That means you can pen shot, conceal, and your shadow imbue is probably already up, but if it's not, shadow imbue, pen shot. The pen shot is gonna apply vuln for 6 more seconds, and then you do 2 more pen shots, and things are gonna melt, especially AoE waves of enemies. So I love how versatile this skill is. I think it's really gonna save your ass in hardcore mode. And I think it's also is very versatile. You could like quickly burst and blow stuff up with it, like I was just talking about. So that's nice. We also got some talents here. I'm gonna come back and get probably later. Like when I'm leveling, I'm gonna come down and get the shadow imbuement and stuff before I fill out these. But you got agile. Using a cooldown increases your dodge chance by 12% for 3 seconds. That seems nice. But even better, mending obscurity. While stealth, you heal for 9% max life per second, and you're stealth for 4 seconds ish, so you're getting 27-36% life every time you conceal. That seems really nice for when you use it as a get out of trouble card. You know, if you aren't as big on these, you could take these off and try to get some more damage elsewhere, and I'll show you some other talents I got my eye on as far as damage goes, but I think these sound pretty nice for staying alive, especially for hardcore. Then we got exploit heal here. You deal 18% increased damage to healthy and injured enemies. That's nice. And malice, you deal 9% increased damage to vulnerable enemies. You guys are probably noticing a trend with this vuln, man. You're getting vuln from the conceal. You could potentially get vuln from forceful arrows, but you also get vuln from shadow imbuement when things explode. And that is because of this final talent, the blended shadow imbuement. Shadow imbuement's primary explosion makes enemies vulnerable for 2 seconds. So we're gonna really be trying to exploit that vulnerability that we're applying to enemies. And you guys already know how shadow imbuement works. I put 5 points into it because this is gonna be a big part of your AoE, like wave clear damage. So I actually invested 5 points into the shadow imbuement. And that takes it from like a 30 or 40% to a 56% damage explosion around on all the enemies nearby. I also get the shadow talents here. Shadow Crash. makes it to where you can get a lucky hit. Shadow damage has up to a 10% chance to stun for 1.5 seconds. So that's pretty cool. And then also consuming shadows. Each time you kill an enemy with shadow damage, which is gonna happen from the shadow imbuement explosions, each time you do it, you generate 30 energy. So that's gonna keep you pen-shotting, man. So that's gonna be really, really good. I'm probably gonna get this pretty early, or try to, as I level. So next we got precision imbuement here, imbued skills, which is gonna be your pen shots most of the time, maybe sometimes some dashes, but you mostly want to use them on pen shots. They have a 9% increased critical strike chance. Money. Okay, moving down here, what else we got? Got innervation, lucky hit, up to a 30% chance to gain 8 energy. I'll probably get that last-ish, but that's pretty nice. And then what else we got here in this little section of the tree? I got 1 point into adrenaline rush. While moving, you gain 5% increased energy regeneration. So that's cool, but what it gives you access to is these two. So the energy regen is whatever, it's not a big deal though, but underneath it you can get haste, or you can get impetus. And these both, dude, these both sound good for damage. So I chose haste. While at or above 50% max energy, gain 15% increased movement speed. Okay, that's gonna be great for kiting. You're gonna get out of mechanics that are trying to kill you easier. You're gonna kite bosses easier. You're gonna kite waves easier. While below 15% max energy, gain 15% increased attack speed. So that means once you've dumped all your energy into pen shots, you're gonna build your energy back up by doing the heart seekers or the forceful arrows faster. You're gonna build the combo points faster. You're gonna get back to pen shotting faster. So I like haste, but man, I gotta tell you about impetus. Sounds really good too. I gotta test some things with this though. Impetus says after moving 15 meters, your next attack deals 7, it goes up to 14, 21% increased damage. What I gotta test, because you guys know I got a lot of mobility on this build, does the dash count as moving 15 meters? Does the shadow step count as moving 15 meters? Also, does it have to be a consecutive 15 meters? Or can I move 8 meters, stop and shoot, move another 7 meters, and it adds that 8 and 7 together to get me 15, and then the next attack is doing 21% extra? Because, dude, if I can do a dash, my next pen shot does 21% extra damage. I do another dash, another 21%. I do a shadow step, another 21%. You know, I can seal, sprint away 15 meters, get the energy back, and do another 21% increased damage pen shot. That sounds really good. I mean, now that I'm saying it, I'm almost thinking about taking out innervation. I'm almost thinking about taking out, you know, one of these passives and putting it into impetus, dude. It sounds damn good. I just gotta test and see exactly how it works. So keep your eye on that. That might be money, especially because it's X. X deals X% increased damage, not plus. That's a multiplier, so that's huge. And then down here, like the ultimate talent thing, we get precision. So critical strikes with marksman skills grant you precision. You gain 4% increased critical strike damage per stack of precision up to a max of 20%. When you reach maximum precision, your next marksman skill is a guaranteed crit that deals 40% increased critical strike damage and consumes all the precision. So you're gonna build this up, and then you're gonna spend it on a big pen shot, man. And that's the build. That's what I got so far for the skill tree. So that's gonna take you to level 50 and spend an extra 10 points that you're gonna get from renown in the different acts. I think there's 5 acts. I think you can get 2 extra skill points per act if you unlock them through renown. So that'll give you a total of the 50 levels plus the 10 renown points. And this is how my tree's gonna look once I get all those skills spent. And now the paragon, I haven't went through this yet, so we have to come back and check again at a later video to see how we end up pushing out all this. But that's where I'm at for now, guys. I wanted to announce to you that I'm going on this hardcore journey. I'm gonna be trying to get my name on that statue. I'm playing Rogue. I'm gonna be streaming the game like crazy. Click the description below. It's got a link to my Twitch channel. Follow me here on YouTube. Follow me on Twitch. Come hang out for this hardcore journey. This is the build I'm planning on using. Let me know in the comments if this helped anybody. You know, I wanted to talk through my thought process on how I built, you know, why I chose the skills I did and the things I thought about maybe switching, you know? I wanted to just do a quick overview of the skills at first so people could see what I had, and then I wanted to go into detail about what talents and what things I've got my eye on testing and swapping moving forward. By the way, last thing, there's a skill here I didn't choose called Dark Shroud. As we go higher level, higher and higher, and as the difficulties get higher, Dark Shroud might be a lifesaver. I recognize this skill is extremely good, but I chose the mobility and the unstoppable, the quick unstoppable skills over that. But if things are just hitting me too hard, I might take off dash or shadow step, and I might add Dark Shroud. Surround yourself with up to 5 protective shadows, gain 8% damage reduction per shadow. That scales up to like 11-12% ish. The more points you put into the skill, that means you can have over 50% damage reduction with 5 of these shadows up, and every time you take a hit, you lose one of those damage reductions. So, and then it, you know, it goes down, and then you put it back up. It's a 20-second cooldown. So this skill's very, very good. It's very safe. But I wanted to be able to move and break CC to get out of bad situations rather than feel like I'm just gonna sit them, you know? Which is, but I know I wouldn't say Dark Shroud is for sitting, getting attacked. It's just to save you if you do get attacked. So I might put this on as well. Keep your eye out for that as well. And that's pretty much it. You guys know everything I know. Man, I'm gonna be updating the YouTube and the Twitch as I learn more about the game. Let me know in the comments below if you're excited for Diablo 4. If you liked this video, give it a like. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in hell. June 1st. Hey, thanks everybody. See you next time. All right, later.